This story is inspired by real criminal cases, court transcripts, and investigative journalism. Names, locations, and identifying details have been changed to protect victims and comply with legal standards. This is a true crime dramatization meant for awareness and education. Please subscribe to our channel. The courtroom smelled like polished wood and quiet fear. Every morning at exactly 8:45 a.m., Judge Evelyn Harrow entered through the side door, black robe flowing like a shadow that knew it would never be questioned. She was respected, feared, untouchable. For over 20 years, Judge Harrow presided over juvenile cases in a Midwestern American county. She was the woman politicians praised, newspapers admired, and law schools quoted. They called her a guardian of children. No one knew what she did to them after hours. The courtroom doors closed behind her. The lie began again. His name will be Ethan. He was 14 when he first stood before her bench. Small, nervous, hands shaking in sleeves too big for his body. Foster kid. No parents present. No lawyer who cared. No one watching closely. Judge Harrow leaned forward, her voice warm, practiced, maternal. "Ethan, I see potential in you," she said. "But potential needs guidance." She ordered private mentorship sessions. After school, in chambers, alone. The court record said rehabilitation. The truth was something else. Her chambers were soundproof. She locked the door. She told him the law was complicated, that adults understood things children didn't, that obedience was how boys survived the system. She touched him like it was normal, spoke like it was educational, threatened like it was inevitable. "If you talk," she whispered, "you'll end up in juvie. Or worse." She reminded him she was the law, and the law believed her. Ethan was not the first. He would not be the last. Over a decade, boys from foster care, probation programs, and at-risk backgrounds passed through her courtroom. Same profile, same silence, same fear. She controlled their futures. Detention, freedom, college recommendations, criminal records, all decided by a woman who abused them in the dark. Power makes people careless. Her mistake came in the form of texts, late-night messages sent from a private phone to Ethan after he aged out of the system. "You owe me. Remember who protected you. Don't forget what happens if you talk." Ethan screenshotted everything. For the first time in his life, he didn't delete the evidence. At 19, Ethan walked into a police station shaking. He expected laughter, disbelief, dismissal. Instead, the detective went quiet, very quiet, because this wasn't the first whisper they'd heard about Judge Harrow. It was just the first time someone brought proof. When the indictment came, the courthouse froze. Charges: sexual abuse of a minor, abuse of authority, witness intimidation, obstruction of justice. Judge Harrow was arrested at dawn. Cameras rolled as the woman who sentenced thousands was led away in handcuffs. America watched, and then she did something no one expected. Her lawyers filed a motion that stunned the legal world. Judge Evelyn Harrow requested to preside over her own preliminary hearing. She argued judicial experience, bias concerns, procedural fairness. She claimed no one else was qualified to understand the complexity of her case. And shockingly, the motion was considered. Ethan couldn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling knowing the woman who destroyed his childhood might sit behind the bench again. Same robe, same power, same cold eyes. This time, judging him. The judge overseeing the motion denied her request. Barely, by a single legal argument. Judge Harrow smiled anyway. She still believed she could win. She always had. Ethan took the stand, hands shaking, voice breaking. Across the room, Judge Harrow watched him. Not with shame, with calculation. She whispered notes to her attorneys, smiled when he cried. Then came the others, one by one, different ages. Same story, same room, same threats, same abuse. The courtroom went silent. Juries don't forget patterns. The prosecution played the messages, the emails, the call logs, the sealed files she manipulated. The robe couldn't hide the truth anymore. The guardian of children was a predator. She testified, claimed consensual relationships, false memories, career sabotage. She blamed the victims. She blamed politics. She never blamed herself. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. When they returned, no one breathed. Guilty on all counts. Judge Evelyn Harrow collapsed. Not in tears, in rage. The irony was unbearable. She stood where defendants once stood. She listened as another judge spoke the words she once delivered coldly to others. You are sentenced to 38 years in federal prison. The gavel fell. This time it was real. The courthouse removed her portrait. Cases were reopened. Victims found their voices. Ethan enrolled in law school. He wanted to become what she never was. Justice. Monsters don't always hide in the dark. Sometimes they wear robes. Sometimes they write laws. Sometimes they decide who is believed. And sometimes they almost get away with judging themselves. If this story disturbed you, it was meant to. Silence protects predators. Truth protects children. Subscribe for more real-life inspired true crime stories. Like if you believe no one is above the law. Comment if victims should always be believed.